When the switch was thrown inside Florida State Prison on January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy finally met the one thing he could no longer manipulate: the end. In the days before his execution, Bundy was calm, almost polite. He spoke with investigators for hours, detailing over 30 murders committed between 1974 and 1978. Though most believed the true count was far higher, he talked in chilling precision, never in regret, holding onto details like bargaining chips he'd never cashed in. At 7:06 a.m., he was led into the execution room. Reporters, officers, and victims' families watched as he was strapped into the wooden chair. Electrodes were attached to his leg and scalp. His final words were short: "Give my love to my family and friends." When the current hit, 2,000 volts surged through him for almost a minute. The smell of burning cloth and skin filled the air. By 7:16 a.m., Ted Bundy was declared dead, age 42. Outside, over 2,000 people cheered. They waved signs, lit fireworks, and chanted, "Burn, Bundy, burn." The man who once controlled everyone around him finally lost control for good. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't face the state's electric chair, but justice still found him behind bars. By 1994, he was serving 16 life sentences in Wisconsin for murdering 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. In prison, he mostly kept quiet, except for his dark jokes about his crimes, which earned him plenty of enemies. On the morning of November 28, 1994, Dahmer was cleaning the prison gym's bathroom with 2 other inmates, Christopher Scarver and Jesse Anderson. The guards left them unsupervised for 10 minutes. When they returned, Dahmer was on the floor, his head smashed in. Anderson was also near death. Scarver later told officers he used a metal bar from exercise equipment and claimed he was following divine orders. Dahmer was rushed to the hospital but pronounced dead within the hour. The cause was obvious: blunt force trauma. He was 34. His body was cremated. His brain was kept for study but later destroyed after his parents argued over what to do with it. The man who once played God over others met his end by someone who thought God had spoken to him. John Wayne Gacy's execution didn't go as planned. The man known as the Killer Clown spent his final day praying with a priest.
If you don't like and subscribe to this video, this zombie will come to your house.
For his last meal, he asked for KFC chicken, French fries, fried shrimp, strawberries, and a Diet Coke. Even then, he couldn't risk the sugar. Just after midnight, Gacy was strapped to a gurney inside the chamber. He joked with guards and looked calm. His last words were, "Kiss my ass." But when the injection began, one of the 4 lines clogged. The process, meant to take minutes, stretched to almost 20 as technicians scrambled to fix the problem. Gacy remained conscious the entire time, lying still, waiting. Witnesses said it looked like a botched medical experiment, awkward, mechanical, and tense. Finally, the drugs flowed. His body relaxed, and he went silent. At 12:58 a.m., John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at age 52. His brain was removed for study. Nothing remarkable was ever found. The man who made others suffer slow deaths endured one himself. Aileen Wuornos didn't fear her execution. She demanded it. By 2002, she had spent more than 10 years on death row for killing 7 men in Florida between 1989 and 1990. Her behavior had grown erratic. She fired her lawyers, accused guards of abuse, and told reporters she believed the government wanted her gone. In her final letter, she wrote, "I'm competent. Let me have my execution." On the morning of October 9, 2002, she refused a last meal. Just asked for a cup of coffee. Calmly, she walked into the execution chamber. Witnesses said she showed no emotion as she was strapped down. When asked for final words, she said, "I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus. June 6th, big mothership and all." Minutes later, the lethal injection began. Her breathing slowed, her eyes closed, and at 9:53 a.m., she was gone, age 46. The woman once called the damsel of death left the world with one final, cryptic promise. "I'll be back." Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, never made it to his scheduled execution. Convicted in 1989 for 13 murders across California, he spent decades appealing his case while living on death row. During that time, Ramirez married a journalist who had written to him and continued to receive letters from admirers who saw him as some dark celebrity, but by 2013, his health was collapsing. He'd been diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma, cancer that spread to his liver and lymph nodes. He also battled chronic hepatitis C and infections from years of substance abuse. By the end, Ramirez looked decades older, pale skin, thinning hair, hollow cheeks. At 9:10 a.m. on June 7, 2013, he died of liver failure at age 53. No family claimed his body. The same man who terrorized strangers across California died alone, unclaimed, and forgotten. These 5 deaths, electric chair, pipe, poison, syringe, and disease, closed the final chapters of men and women who once embodied terror. Some faced crowds cheering outside. Others slipped away quietly in sterile rooms. But they all shared one truth. For every life they took, justice, in one way or another, eventually found its way back.
If you don't like and subscribe to this video, this zombie will come to your house.